Welcome back, everybody.
Or if you guys are new here, my name is Michelle.
And I'm Jose.
And this is our food and travel channel.
So it's 4 a.m. Pacific time and we're up super early. So why is that?
Well, we're currently in the San Francisco Bay Area, and the reason why we're up at 4 a.m. is because we're getting ready to head to the airport.
Yep. And why are we going to the airport?
Because we are getting ready to fly out to Hawaii.
Yes, we are. So we gotta collect all of our bags that are all over there and head to the airport so we can do the whole process of checking in and all the extra stuff that you have to do to go to Hawaii. So we're gonna show you some of that process, and then we'll see you while we're on the flight and basically when we land in Hawaii.
Yeah. So stay tuned, guys.
All right, so 5-hour flight done. We have finally landed in Honolulu. We picked up our rent-a-car and we actually got really lucky. We got a convertible. So yeah, so now, what are we gonna be doing?
Well, obviously, a 5-hour flight. We haven't eaten all day. You saw that we left so early in the morning to the airport from Oakland. The first thing we want to do is eat.
Yep, so we're gonna go get some scrumdiddlyumptious food. And what are we gonna go to first?
So we are going to go and grab some food at Liliha Bakery.
Ooh, and I'm super excited because I wanna get a Honolulu staple, and I'm wondering if it's just gonna taste different because I'm here in Honolulu. I don't know. We'll find out. So I guess we're ready to go, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
looks like the catamaran that docks here.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back at the hotel after a very long day, and I feel like maybe we should do like some kind of a recap, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think about kind of the process of getting pre-cleared for Hawaii?
So I definitely recommend that if your airline allows pre-clear prior to your arrival here to Hawaii, that you guys definitely do it. So if you did not know already, Hawaii has allowed folks from the mainland to be able to come to Hawaii without a negative COVID test if you have been fully vaccinated. And their definition of fully vaccinated is 15 days post the second shot or 15 days post the Johnson & Johnson shot. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, you need to go ahead and go to the Safe Travels Hawaii website and upload a very clear copy of your vaccination card.
Yes.
And then 24 hours, within 24 hours of your departure flight to Hawaii, meaning the last leg to Hawaii, you definitely need to go onto the Safe Travel site and fill out the health questionnaire. And that health questionnaire, once you fill it out, it's actually going to go ahead and email you a QR code so that when you get to the airport, if your airline, our airline that we flew here was Southwest, and Southwest does do the pre-clear. We did fly out of Oakland, but I will say that they didn't announce where the pre-clear was when we got to the airport, because we did get to the airport past security and we were ready at the gate. We were there an hour and I would say an hour 45 minutes before the flight actually physically was scheduled to board, not the actual departure time, but we didn't hear until about 30 minutes before boarding where the actual pre-clear was. And so we were really frantic that we weren't going to get pre-cleared in Oakland and, you know, make our flight, and that we would have to get pre-cleared here with all the other airlines. But thank goodness, you know, we made it. We got the bands and then headed on our flight, which was overall like a very smooth flight, even though it was, you know, 5 hours, no turbulence whatsoever. But the beauty of it is, once we actually landed in Honolulu, they had a barricaded section, and there was checkpoints throughout that area just before you got released to the baggage claim area, where as long as the folks that were manning the checkpoints could visually see your armband, you know,
Which
you were...
we had it on, but...
Yeah, we had it on, we took it off.
Took it off.
Which, if as long as they could visually see your armband, you were passed on to the next checkpoint, to the next checkpoint, to the next checkpoint. It wasn't like you had to stop. They just needed to visually see it, so you would flash it, and then you would just keep walking to the next checkpoint, to the next checkpoint. And then from there, we just hit baggage claim and got our bags. So it was such a smooth process. Again, highly recommend, if your airline does it, completely do it.
Yeah, if they would have announced things a little earlier, saying, hey, the pre-check is going on and it's in X area, probably would have made things a little smooth. It made it a little hectic because we had to try and get pre-cleared and get that stuff, and then the flight was starting to load or you know, board, and it kind of made things a bit hectic. But other than that, yeah, like Michelle said, it was pretty smooth. The other thing that I was actually kind of surprised by, because I haven't really heard anybody talk about it, they are building a monorail, and because that monorail is being built, it's obviously going towards the airport as well. It's just going to be another way for you to get to the airport if you're going to be flying out. And the construction can make that area a little confusing because of the signs and the equipment and all that other stuff. We could see other people that were at the airport that were just like trying to figure out what to do and where to go. So just a little bit of heads up. When you get in there, take your time, be slow. There's no hurry, so you can kind of just get through that area smooth and clear. Car-wise, you definitely need to make a reservation. There was a bunch of cars there, right? But they were pretty much all claimed. They were all spoken for. So like everybody's been saying, do yourself a huge favor and book the car way ahead of time. Yeah.
I think that anything that you can book ahead of time, definitely book ahead of time. Because going through the car rental, because we had booked, at least I would probably say we booked months in advance.
Yeah.
You know, we had no problem. It was just your standard, you check in, show your ID, make your payment, and you know, you're done. But I would say that making reservations definitely is the way to go. Again, like, you know, we did dinner. We made those reservations at least a couple of months in advance.
Yeah.
We showed up at Duke's. We told them, here's our reservation. This is our name. This is our time. They said, sure, sit down. 5 minutes later, we were seated. And, you know, we did see a line of people waiting to try to get a table. And while we were sitting there, we did hear the majority of the wait time was 3 hours for the next slot. So the fact that, you know, we arrived
Reservation.
5 minutes, reservation, seated. It was great.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, the process wasn't too bad. Everything out of getting through the construction and all that, it's just normal. Hotel-wise, you can tell Hawaii is way more open than it's been. There was a lot of people. There's the other thing. Make sure that you book your hotel way ahead of time because things are starting to pick back up. Any issues with the hotel? I don't think really anything.
So our hotel, we are staying at the Hilton Waikiki Beach Hotel at 2500 Kuhio Avenue, and check-in time is 3 o'clock. And we did call, I would say probably like 1:30 just to see if we could check in early, but unfortunately, you know, they didn't have the rooms available at that time. And they said to us that they more than likely the room would be available at the time of check-in at 3. So we did show up at 3 o'clock hoping that, you know, things are ready. But there was a slight delay. It wasn't too bad. It was about 30-40 minutes, and then when they were able to check us in. But the great thing that they did here is they gave us a temporary pass so that we could actually go and explore the amenities. So we did go up to the pool area here that's on the 10th floor, and we did lounge around for a little bit to kill the time. And then after that, we were able to get in. It's valet parking here at this hotel. There is no self-parking, which is, I mean, it's a little pricey, but, you know, it is what it is because, you know, parking in general here in Honolulu, Waikiki area is horrible. Yeah. So, I mean, at least we know where our car is at and we can have easy access to it. And they were really great. The guys down in the luggage area, I mean, we had a total of 8 bags with us because we're going to be here in Hawaii for almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks, yeah.
So, you know, we weren't sure, like, you know, like what to pack, and we just had some extra stuff and then an empty luggage just for all the souvenirs.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that I thought was a lot different. So we've stayed at a couple of different hotels, and most of the time, a lot of the extras, quote unquote, maybe a restaurant or food service or some of those things that you would expect from a hotel were pretty much non-existent because of whatever protocols they're currently doing. But here at the hotel that we're staying at, the restaurant is available, room service is available. They did say that when it comes to the maid services, that they were every other day. They're not going up every single day.
Actually,
right?
for the housekeeping services.
Housekeeping, yes.
You do actually have to schedule it 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
And so when we were checking in, our concierge asked us how often we wanted to set it up. If we knew what kind of schedule we wanted, and we kind of looked at each other like, ooh, I don't know. So she kind of suggested, what about we just go ahead and set it up every other day, and then if you wake up one morning you don't want it cleaned, you just call and let us know. So we kind of did that. So yeah, I mean, you've got to find out all the information regarding how your hotel is handling things, so that way when you get here you're not hit with a surprise. You kind of already know what to expect.
Yeah, and I technically, when they started telling us all of the amenities that were available, I was very surprised, because a couple of other hotels that we've stayed at, there is nothing. So I was like, oh, well, that's kind of sweet, because if we forget to pick up some food or something goes wrong, we know that we have at least something that we can count on here at the hotel. I think personally that we got super lucky with the room that we got because of the views that we got. And so I think this is, gonna be a really great experience, simply because everything seems to be kind of coming together very, very well. So overall, day one is done. We're basically back in the hotel, and we're gonna call it, because we have a bunch of things that we're gonna be doing for the next couple of days. So obviously stay tuned for that stuff when it drops. But yeah, that's I think that's the end of day one, right?
Yeah, we're exhausted.
Yeah, we're exhausted. So if you haven't already, do us a favor and hit the big old red subscribe button down there. It helps to build our community here on YouTube, as well as hit the notification bell. We have a ton of content planned for Hawaii, and if you don't want to miss all of the reviews on food in the restaurants and the hiking and all the stuff that we have planned, the notification bell will obviously alert you of that.
Yeah, and guys, obviously, you like what you see, please don't forget to hit the like button. And then comment down below, what questions do you guys have about the whole process of coming now to Hawaii, now that some of the restrictions have been released? Or what places are you guys interested in seeing? Any activities or places to eat? Let us know in the comments below.
Yep. So that's the end.
Yep. Wait for day two.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.